grew up in the late 70s, the beginning stages of hip hop with the Cold Crush Brothers, Grand Wizard Theodore, Kool Herc, Grandmaster Flash, and the Furious Five, which tonight's theme is The Message. Don't push me, 'cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying
not to lose my head.
It's like a jungle sometimes, how I keep from going under. And we're still experiencing that today, but I digress. The beatbox. Grandmaster Flash introduced this little device. Not the first drum machine, but the first drum machine that hip hop has ever seen. This year makes the 50th anniversary of hip hop. Give it up for hip hop. It's $1 billion industry. The 5 elements of hip hop: DJing, MCing, graffiti, b-boying, that's breakdancing, and the beatbox, which is probably the most complicated element of hip hop. Now, growing up as an inquisitive kid, stayed to myself a lot. I had friends, but it was kind of, awkward. But the beatbox, just hearing that on cassette tape, this is how far we're going back. Cassette tapes. I know we're into the digital era, MP3, iPhones and all that, but I'm going back to cassette tapes. So we didn't have any visuals, so we had to use our minds and had to be creative about it. And listening to this tape, and Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, there's this one particular song called Flash to the Beat. And it went something like this. Flash is on the beatbox going, Flash is on the beatbox going, and sha-na-na, right? So that's from the doo-wop age. Sha-na-na. So I'm like, okay. The drum machine went a little something like this. So now I heard this machine, not knowing it's a machine. I'm thinking like, what is this mechanical device? I know it's mechanical because they talking about flashes on something. And he coined the phrase, the beatbox. So this became a phenomenon in the late 70s and early 80s with such groups like the Fat Boys. Who remember the Fat Boys? I don't want to do him any injustice. Who remember Biz Markie, right? You got what I, and you
Say just a friend,
and you
say just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need. And you say just a friend, and you say just a friend.
How many people remember Dougie Fresh? Remember? Lottie-dottie, lottie-dottie, lottie-dottie. You know what? I peeped it.
Party, we like to party. We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody. We're just the men that's on the mic. And we rock the body, we rock the body.
Right? So it was a huge explosion. The beatbox, the human beatbox. Every kid, every neighborhood in New York City, everybody wanted the beatbox, especially me. I was just one of those kids like, no, I'm going to get this. How many people remember Good Times, right? 1979, right? Now Rogers. Good time. So my fascination became of the drum machine. I studied every drum machine that came out after the beatbox. So many to name. I studied drummers. Clyde Stubblefield, John Starks, Art Blakey, James Gatson, just to name a few. Phil Collins. Like, the list just goes on and on and on. I became obsessed. I didn't have a drum kit. I didn't have a drum machine. I barely had a tape recorder that I had to borrow from people, had to beg my mother for a double cassette tape deck. She's like, boy, you better bring back my box. All right, Ma, I'm over here experimenting, relax. So a good friend of mine, Paul C. McCasty, introduced me to so many different artists. Al Jarreau. How many people remember Al Jarreau? Bobby McFerrin, right? Michael Winslow. How many people remember Mike? You don't remember nobody? Remember? Police Academy? Remember? Please enter your passcode. Right? George Benson. These musicians, vocalists, huge talents. So this put me on the path of studying different vocal artists, studying musicians, studying DJs, studying drum machine, drum patterns, different frequencies. Now, I mentioned Bismarck, God bless his soul, a very good friend of mine. He used to tease me a lot. Come on, Roz, you're doing too much. You're overthinking it. You have to worry about branding. I'm like, nah, I just want to be the best. It's like, no one cares about you being the best. They just want to know what you're trying to sell them. I'm like, I'm not trying to sell them anything. I'm just trying to let them know, like, listen, we have the ability, we're black people, and we can just do anything. No one cares, Roz. I'm like, nah, I'm going to make them care. He's like, no one. I'm like, trust me. So me and him always had this debate over the years, and I was just not going to let it go. But I understood during this time it was God's plan. So I had to realize that at a very young age, my faith, and it's not my plan, it's really God's plan, but God allowed me to prepare for the things that I was about to embark on. That's how I met the Roots. But what gravitated me towards the Roots was Amir Questlove Thompson, right? The drummer of the Roots. And me and him used to trade off, go back and forth. You know, he would do something, I would come in. Right? I told Biz, they're going to get it one day. Because this is the beauty of the human voice. and the capabilities that it can release and have so many different layers. Your voice is powerful. Like I can emulate an instrument at whim. You understand? I mean, we can go further back on how it all started with language, with phonetics. But that's for another TED Talk. But the evolution of the human beatbox from where it started in 1979 to where it is 2023. I'm happy and I'm blessed to say that I was a part of 4 different eras of hip hop, and I'm still here today. And to actually be able to share this moment with you guys is, I don't think you understand, like this is really, really deep. I know surface level, yeah, some funny guy on stage, yeah, you know, he's just making some sounds. It's really deeper than that. Like the beatbox, it's kind of therapeutic. So when you go home today, tonight, this evening, tomorrow, during work, try beatboxing and see the spirit that'll come in that room. Everybody like, what are you doing? Right? If you're rapping, everybody like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Not to take nothing away from rappers, but beatboxing is a special, special talent, special gift. Now, before I go, I'm gonna go back to Biz again, because me and Biz went over this a couple of times. I said, listen, I understood that Biz came up with the idea of rapping and doing the beat at the same time. For those that know about Biz, it went a little something like this. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, a 1, 2, a 1, 2. I like to introduce myself. My name is Bismarcky. A 1, 2, a 1, 2. A 1, 2, a 1, 2. I like to introduce myself. My name is Bismarcky. Right? Now I'm crazy. You know, black folks, we crazy, sorry. We think outside the box. It's like, listen, you can't stop us. We're gonna figure out another way, a better way, and we're gonna keep it moving. So I'm like, yo, Biz. I mean, we gotta give kudos to ourselves because we're an unstoppable force. We just gotta recognize our force. You understand? Like, I figured out how to be my own instrument. No band behind me, nobody. No. Just me and this microphone. I figured it out. Now, I told Biz, I was like, listen, Biz, you know, I know you do the talking and the rapping with the beat, but I think I discovered how to sing and do the beat at the same time. He was like, no. I'm like, yeah. And I can add all the bass lines and the snares and the kicks and everything at the same time. He was like, come on, Rob, you're going too far. I'm like, Biz, I'm not going too far, trust me. I mean, because if you're listening to a composition or you listen to the song, you're listening to it in its entirety. So I want to be able to recreate an entire song vocally without having to go to the studio and mix it and track it and do all of this fancy stuff. So he said, come on, let me hear what you got, Roz. So this is an ode to Aaliyah, because when she passed, that gave me the motivation to kind of just put this together. If your mother only knew, if your mother only knew that you was trying to get with me. She'll probably throw you out of home. You'll probably be up on a park bench all alone.
inside the red arrow. Ladies and gentlemen, I will attempt the impossible. The impossible. The beat, the bass line, the chorus, the background vocals, and the verse at the same time.
If you mother if your mother if your mother only knew that you was trying to get with me.
Rahzel, y'all.
Yeah.